Hey guys, Heath here, Shepherd's Forge. Some of you may remember from previous video, uh, last year for Christmas, I bought Steve from 10 Forge. A pretty big billet, very thick billet of feather pattern Damascus. And I apologize, I don't remember the company I got it from, but I know they're based out of Las Vegas, but that's pretty much all they do is make really high quality Damascus. This was an expensive billet. I think I paid somewhere around like 200 bucks for it. And if you want to buy a high quality billet of Damascus, you're gonna pay for it. Feather pattern is one of those things I've always wanted to try. My confidence level is just not quite there yet. But it's so beautiful. So I gave it to Steve and I'm like, hey man, you do whatever you want with it. Hold on, I gotta shut off the timer here. But I told him like, hey, if you start hammering on it, you're gonna probably disfigure the pattern. Your best bet is do stock removal, which Steve's not a big stock removal guy, but he's just like, yeah, I kind of understand that. So he did the stock removal on this. He made the guard that's going to go on this out of the exact same steel this is made from. When he cut pieces of it, he used that guard to, he used those pieces to make the guard. I haven't finished working on that yet, but I got the blade up to 800 grit polish, and I do cycles with my ferric chloride. I don't know if anybody else does that. I don't know really why I do it. It's just I see other, like Kyle Royer. If you guys don't know him, check him out. Kyle Royer is, you can't hold a candle to him. The guy does just phenomenal work. In fact, he's doing some feather pattern Damascus right now, which is kind of weird, but his is like 5,000 layer feather pattern Damascus. It's just unbelievable. But anyway, I do 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes in the ferric chloride, and in between those, I spray it down with Windex and 1500 grit sandpaper, wet dry, underneath the sink, and just get all the etching material off of it. And then I rinse it off with rubbing alcohol to get everything clean, wipe it dry, goes back in the etch. I'm on my last cycle of ferric chloride, so I figured I would do like the big reveal or whatever. So what I'm gonna do is basically just neutralize the acid. This is gonna look really, really black. I'm not entirely sure if pattern's gonna show up. Before I do my sanding under the sink here, but this is just friggin' gorgeous. It's beautiful stuff. You know, you're gonna pay for a billet like this, and I did, and it was worth it. This is going to be a beautiful knife. But like I said, I did cycles of this etching. I'm gonna lose a lot of the black right now as I take my 1500 grit sandpaper to it. It's gonna be relatively dark, but like so many others are doing right now, and I have been too, is after the ferric chloride etch, um, you etch it in a very, very, very strong pot of coffee. Instant coffee. Has to be instant coffee. And it will make that black jet black. And I'm not talking like mottled gray, which um, you usually end up with. I mean, it jumps the black right off the silver, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so got that sanded down. We're gonna. Oh, I got coffee on that. I don't want to use that. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of black coming off of this. And Steve isn't quite sure what he's going to do for the handle just yet. You know, he's going to take a little time to think about it, and that's fine because this blade is going to come out pretty dark because of the amount of contrast that's in it. And so we both agreed that a lighter colored handle is probably what's going to look best on this. But here it is. I don't want to get too close. I don't want to get out of focus. But that is a really, really tight feather pattern. It is absolutely stunning. And if you hold on, there's the guard. And if you're wondering what these little holes are, Steve's actually going to put some copper rod in there. This is after I've hand sanded and treated this and everything. A little bit of copper rod in there to accent it a little bit. I'm actually going to take this up to a much higher polish than the actual blade, simply just to give it a little contrast. The guard will be like almost a stainless steel finish with the black etching showing through. I did a ring in the same fashion. That was Raindrop Damascus pattern that I used on the ring. That was just an experiment. It was just like a one-off. Like, I got this tiny little piece left. Let's do something I've never done. And it turned out pretty cool. I ended up turning it into a keychain, and my ex-girlfriend's got it at the moment, which is fine. I mean, she can have it, but it was just an experiment. It was like, you know? There are so many other applications for Damascus. There really are. So, anyway, guys, I thought I would show you the feather pattern buoy. And I hand sanded this entire blade from... Steve got it pretty smooth when it got to me, but there were still a lot of scratches in it. So I started at 120 grit and got it all the way up to 800. Did my etch. Now I'm going to let it soak in a very, very heavy, thick coffee bath for 24 hours, and that black should really just jump off. But I wanted my subscribers to be the first ones to see it. So from Heath here at Shepherd's Forge. Y'all have a good night, stay humble, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.